Wow, so it's been a day. I guess I pretty much stirred a hornet's nest today. So it's been a long one, but the evolution of it was strange actually. Started out, well, I didn't get much sleep last night, but so I don't know if that was a factor at all, but I was writing on book 3, Ross and Faith, which if you follow me, you know that I'm working on that so that I can get it ready to publish before the middle of next month. And I'm making great progress, but I took a break away from it today because quite utterly randomly, I was looking around at some publicist websites today, some author publicists who can help me with marketing and publicity for my books. And I came across this publicity site. So this is completely unrelated to what I'm about to tell you. It's not completely unrelated. It's just random happenstance, though. It's just coincidental. But anyway, and when I clicked on the About Us page at this publicist website, I was looking at the main publicists, their team profiles, and they were all just on one page and with photos. And then I noticed that the top 2 people started their description of who they were with their pronouns, she/her, and salutations, Ms. And it just hit me the wrong way. And so I did something that I don't normally do, but I just decided to make a brief post on my Facebook profile. And this was all it said. It said, anyone who begins their self-description with a preferred gender definition, such as pronouns she, her, salutation Ms, or similar, is immediately removed from my contact list. 0 regrets, all the more so if it's a purely business relationship. That's all I said. Pretty non-threatening, really. But anyway, it really stirred up a storm today on my profile. So anyhow, that's just a thing that happened today. So there were lots of comments on there, lots of heated comments, different responses and reactions. But the whole gender issue, and pronouns is really gets people worked up. So, and it got me worked up. That's why I posted it in the first place. But I didn't go into a lot of, rant and rave or anything. All I said was that anybody who begins their self-description with a preferred gender definition is going to be immediately removed from my contact list. 0 regrets, especially if it's a business relationship. So pull back a little bit. I might consider things differently. I would obviously consider things differently if this was someone that I had a close personal relationship with. Obviously, there are people in my life who are transgender, and I'll just use that term for the time being. But anyway, and gay, lesbian, whatever. I don't care about that stuff. I don't care. I think, all adults should be treated equally under the law, and between one another too. Everybody deserves equal treatment. But anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. I'll get back to that in a minute. But so that was my post. So completely unrelated to the fact that I didn't even know until I was watching Matt Walsh on YouTube later. And I found out that yesterday just happened to be National Pronoun Day. What? So I learned about that watching his show, and I had already posted this. So it was pretty funny because, I mean, not funny, haha funny, but funny ironic because I wasn't even aware of the fact that there was such a thing as National Pronoun Day. So anyway, that was one of those things that makes you go, But anyway, so I'll close Facebook now because I just wanted to read that little bit to you. So that aside, I decided also, in conjunction with that, kind of related, to just set aside my writing on Ross and Faith, Book 3, this afternoon, and just do some writing about thoughts, that I've been having and feelings I've been having. So I'll read a little bit of that to you here, and we'll see how far I pursue this book, but I just decided there's just been so much stuff in my head and in my body, the way I've been feeling the last couple of years, especially ever since COVID and all the other stuff, the vaccine and the masks and the mandates and the everything and the stay at home, the lockdowns and everything. And so anyhow, I just decided to get some of that out of my brain. Maybe that's the reason I'm having such a hard time finishing Ross and Faith, because it is coming out of me kicking and screaming. I'm excited about it. It's cool. It is cool. It's really coming along. Some awesome developments and everything. But I've just got a lot of heavy stuff inside of my head that's been building up. So I decided to write this. I started it. I've already got, I don't know, it's behind my phone, but I've already got several chapters outlined. But I'll go ahead and read you the introduction. The working title for this book is called 59 and I Don't Care. Introduction. I'm 59 years old. Actually, I'm closer to 60 now than 59. My birthday rolls around again in 3 more months, and for the first time in my life, I can genuinely say that I don't care about so many things that I used to experience so much grief over. Sleepless nights, guilt and shame. Did I say the right thing? Did I say the wrong thing? What if they don't like me anymore? What if I lose their respect? And you know what? I don't care. And I mean it from the bottom of my heart. Speaking of my heart, I'm tired of the hypertension, rapid heart rate, not because of my diet, necessarily, more on that later, and not because of lack of exercise, though that might also be a thing, who really knows, but from stress. Stress over stupid stuff. It used to be that the whole fight or flight response served a purpose. I know you've heard this before, but in today's society, most of us have so little to actually run from that we've invented reasons to be fearful 24/7. And I just can't do it anymore. I refuse. Okay, back up, regroup. I'm writing this book on an utter and complete whim, and I just poured my second glass of cab, so that may be a factor. You know what? You guessed it. I don't care. Actually, this shit has been building up inside me for a very long time now. I haven't shared these thoughts on social media because, yup, I've been too worried about what people might think of me. And if you were reading this next part you would see those ellipses back there? The ... dots? Technically, I'm not supposed to use them right there. I don't care. See, I maintain my social media accounts for a couple of reasons. First and foremost, I need to earn a living. And as an author/artist, I depend on my connections on mostly Facebook for that purpose. Even though Facebook revoked my ability to run ads on their platform because I shared my honest opinions, more on that later too. Second, I stay on there to keep up with family and friend photos. I can't tell you how many times I've typed out messages, genuine, sincere thoughts and feelings, then deleted them because I worried people might, probably would, judge me and say really nasty, mean, hurtful things. And I hate contention and confrontation. But guess what I've decided? Yep, I don't care. Not anymore. Life's too short and too long. And I just can't afford to waste my gray cells and general health and well-being on this crap. So I give up. I most sincerely do not care. I'll expand on exactly what it is that I no longer care about in the rest of the chapters of this book. I don't know how long this will be, but I'll tell you this much. I've been struggling to complete book 3 in my YA fiction series for some time now. And these words are just pouring out of me. It's like my fingers can't type fast enough. So we'll see. I know they say that people want to read about them. That's the author advice. Don't write about you. They don't care about you. Make it about them. Well, you know my response to that? Ding, ding, ding. I don't effing care. Because you know what else is true about my need to write this book? I'm not alone in feeling this way. This is about them. It's about you. If you're feeling fed up, disgusted, and plain old sick and tired of all the, yes, I'm going to swear in this book, get over yourself. Bullshit. Then this book is for and about you, too. Maybe we're kindred spirits. I kind of hope so. But if not, I don't care. LOL. Read on if you want to. If you don't, I think you're getting the gist of my theme here. Carry on. So that's the introduction. And it's true. It's raw and it's true. And so I just thought that I would get on here and share with you about that, about my day. And I don't really know what else I want to say here tonight. I don't know if maybe I should read a little bit more to you. I guess I'll go on and read just a little bit more. But I thought it was funny that I had written that post, and then I'm listening to Matt Walsh, which, by the way, was after I wrote this introduction to this book. So I wrote the post on Facebook, and then I wrote this introduction to this book. I think that's the way it went. And then I went downstairs and was watching TV for a little bit and watching streaming, and I watched Matt Walsh. And on Matt Walsh, he was talking about the pronoun thing. And I was like, how ironic is that? Because I never talk about this stuff on my social media. And I don't come across it in my perusing. I'm writing. I'm busy writing, and I really don't spend that much time on social media. I've got too much that I'm trying to get done. I'm under deadline. So it's just kind of weird that that came up today. It's almost like do. It's almost like it was supposed to happen. So let's see. I'll read a little bit more here. Chapter 1, but in my timeline here it says chapter 2. But anyway, I'll probably move this around. But religion. By the way, these are topics I no longer care about. And or care about people's opinions about my thoughts and feelings on them is more accurate. So it doesn't mean that I don't care about these issues in the chapters. It means I don't care what other people think about me anymore. I genuinely don't. I'm just over it. So anyway, so let's see some of the subjects. Let me see if I can move this out of the way a little bit that I identified. Religion, marriage, racism, family, death, gender, abortion, marijuana. And those are some of the issues that I've identified that I want to talk about, that I have an opinion about. I'll probably talk about diet and religion and health and fitness and weight and stuff too. But maybe we'll see if I include any of that in this book. But anyhow, so chapter 1, religion. Okay, I realize going into it that this subject is going to hit a nerve for a lot of people. But what's the theme of this book here? You got it. I don't care. And here's why. I was raised in a very devout Latter-day Saint home. We were Mormons, very religious. We got up, dressed in our best church clothes every Sunday morning, and went to Sunday school as a family. In those days, services were held twice a day. Sunday school in the morning, then home for a few hours, and back to church we'd go in the afternoon for sacrament meeting, or the main congregational service. Mom was usually the organist or pianist, and we sat like good little children in the first or second middle pew in the chapel, and we behaved ourselves, or else. Midweek, we kids would go back on over to the chapel for primary, the children's church program, while Mom attended Relief Society, the women's program. The teenage midweek program was held in the evening on Tuesday or Wednesday night. Well, when I was about 16, I started questioning the doctrine, the foundations of the church. Mom was a convert. She joined when she and Dad got married. So I was always curious, even as a small child, about different religions and belief systems. I talked to Mom about going to visit other churches when I was about 9 or 10 years old. She promised me we'd go, but we never did. I was an avid reader, even loved reading the scriptures when I was a small child. So by the time I was 16, I had some serious questions about the gospel, but never did get the answers I was looking for. Until later, that is. Well, Mom and Dad settled in Utah when I was in 2nd grade, and that's where the rest of the family stayed until this day. All of my siblings and extended family live in Utah. But shortly after I married at age 18, my husband joined the Army, and because of that, we moved away. First to Washington State, then across the world to Germany for 4 years. And I got to experience cultures and beliefs that I wasn't exposed to living in hometown USA. But it wasn't until we moved back to the States and were living in Fort Leavenworth, Kansas, that I again began to question the religion of my youth. This book isn't going to go into all the specific wheres, whys, and hows, but suffice it to say that after extensive study and long suffering in prayer and trepidation, I knew, without a doubt, that what I was raised to believe was God's one and only true church upon the face of the earth just wasn't. That was huge for me and took me a long way in my journey toward getting to where I am today. Eventually, we moved back to Utah after my first husband left the military, and I experienced what it felt like to live as an apostate among the saints in Orem and Provo, Utah. Yeah, not fun. I was forcefully confronted by my in-laws and compelled to explain myself. So I did. And I blew myself away with the knowledge I'd acquired and assimilated. I was so frightened for so long, but I knew that I had sought after truth long and hard for years. And I genuinely didn't believe the religion of my childhood was based on truth. I left Mormonism, and for a long time it haunted me. But today, I very literally don't care anymore. But it doesn't stop there. After I left Mormonism, I still believed there must be one source for God's truth on the earth. So I searched, and I figured it had to be contained in biblical Christianity. So I dug in. I even got rebaptized. Twice. Guess I really wanted to make sure it took. I'd been baptized in the LDS church at age 8, but evangelical Christians believe Mormonism is a cult, and the Jesus they, Mormons, believe in isn't really the same Jesus depicted in the Bible. So that baptism, according to them, was null and void. I needed to do it again. And I was a true believer for several years, until I felt compelled to hold biblical Christianity to the same standards I'd applied to Mormonism. And fail. The Bible didn't hold up under scrutiny any better than the Book of Mormon and other LDS teachings did. So I had to walk away from that religion too. I discovered, funnily enough, that organized religion itself was the epitome of what the Bible warns against: trusting in the arm of flesh. And what I figured out, your mileage may vary, I don't care, is that organized religion is a tool used to control and manipulate the masses. Ha, every pun intended. So I walked away. And if people disapprove, you got it. I don't care. By the way, this doesn't mean I don't have my own form of spirituality, or that I don't embrace the possibility of a higher being or creator. I just don't believe the world's religions, as they stand, represent or portray any such being. And that's all I've written in this today. And I'm obviously tired now, so I'm done with that. But anyway, I'm just feeling like I've got a lot of thoughts and feelings that I need to get out, and so I might, we'll see, I might put Ross and Faith on the back burner for a little bit and write this, because I've been doing so much research. You guys just don't know all the research I've done on what's really going on behind this virus situation and the vaccine situation. And it's just been calling my name for a while. I mean, I have just got tons of research that I'm compiling. And it just astonishes me how people are so easily just kind of led around by the nose to believe whatever the media and government tell them to believe. And as if that's not bad enough, that they just accept it without doing any real research of their own. I mean, real research, go into the source. Like, I'm going to the manufacturer of the Pfizer vaccine, which is not Pfizer, by the way. So that's a total sidebar. But, when I dig in and do research, I do research. And it just blows my mind how angry and judgmental and pissy people are with each other. And they don't even know. They don't even know. They haven't even done the research. It just freaks me out. And I'm just fed up with it. So anyway, I'm writing this, and because I don't care anymore. I'm 59 and I don't care. So anyway, we'll see what comes out, but I just thought that I'd take a minute to share that stuff with you tonight and tell you that I do care about, connecting with like-minded people. Of course, I always do. I used to be a very social person. I'm still quite social, but the older I get and the more loss I've experienced in my life. So, little sidebar, because of leaving Mormonism and then Christianity, but especially Mormonism, I had to be willing for truth to walk away from my whole family, my whole community, my whole way of life, everything. My everything. I had to be willing to walk away from that for truth. That's how important truth is to me. So, all this other stuff, I'm going to stand up for truth. I'm going, because I don't care. I have nothing left to lose, really. Things have gotten better over the years, but I have lost a lot. I got divorced after 18 years, and I gave up everything that I had in my first marriage just because I didn't care. Not just because I didn't care about the stuff. But I've experienced a lot of loss in my life. Both of my parents are dead. I've experienced a lot of loss, and I am still happy and cheerful and social, but I'll tell you what, I'm not gonna allow it to impact me in the same way that it used to, because it's not worth it. When push comes to shove, you come into this world alone and you leave alone. And everything else in between, hopefully, we're accumulating wisdom and experience. But beyond that, these people aren't gonna do it for you. So anyway, that's all I have to say tonight. I don't know if it does anything for you or not. I will absolutely read any comments that are left for me and respond. So anyway, I hope that you're doing well. Let me know if you're interested in hearing more chapters from this book, if it resonates with you at any level, and if so, maybe I'll read some more of it. But anyhow, just wanted to share. Anyhow, take good care, and I'll see you next time.